A faint breeze whispered through the desolate ruins, carrying with it the scent of fear and uncertainty. Amidst the crumbling stone and overgrown vegetation, a lone figure stood, shrouded in darkness yet exuding an aura of quiet authority. Marco, the notorious villain. The one and only villain of many years whose name struck fear into the hearts of even the bravest souls. He watched intently as a young boy approached, the boy's trembling hands clutching a sword too big and heavy for his small, slender frame. Another child raised parentless into the hero corps to be victorious against unimaginable danger. Another victim to the powers that some children were born with that suddenly deemed them the chosen ones. Another naive soul being thrown into a shrouded world of terror. The boy looked at Marco, biting back his fear and anxiety, but it showing in his eyes. It showing in his physical reactions. The boy started shaking, his body frozen in place, tears starting to prick in the boy's honey-colored eyes. This kid couldn't move. He couldn't attack. He couldn't even run away. He was stuck as stiff as a statue. Marco's expression softened. It was just a kid after all. A kid meant to be his demise, but a kid nonetheless. Pathetic on the hero's end, truly. Shh. It's all right. Marco's voice, surprisingly gentle, cut through the eerie silence like a soothing melody. He reached out with an unfamiliar sense of paternal warmth, his eyes reflecting a blend of empathy and resignation. It's not your fault that you can't bring yourself to fight me. It's okay that you're scared. Nico, the boy who stood before Marco, had his wide, fearful eyes locked on Marco's outstretched hand, his gaze filled with a mixture of awe and dread. He had been thrust into a world of darkness and chaos, armed only with a sword he barely knew how to wield and cursed powers he couldn't even begin to comprehend. The heroes told him that his powers made him special, that they made him a chosen one, but he didn't feel special or chosen at all. He felt like a wreck. I'm so proud of you, kiddo. Marco's voice softened further as he spoke, his words laced with genuine affection. Marco walked up to the shaking boy, carefully taking the sword from Nico's quivering hands, the weight of it seeming to lift the burden from the boy's shoulders a bit. He still made it all the way here, at least. There was a hint of bitterness in Marco's words, a silent condemnation to the forces that had driven Nico to this moment. The heroes, champions of light and justice, had sent yet another innocent soul to face the darkness, heedless of the toll it would take on his young spirit. Heedless on if this boy would even survive trying to get a single swing in at Marco. It was cruel of them to send you here instead of finally dealing with me themselves, Marco mused, his voice twinged with a touch of regret. He had seen too many children fall victim to the machinations of those who claimed to protect them, their innocence sacrificed on the altar of righteousness. But you'll be subjected to their cruelty and insubordination no longer. You will be staying with me now. I'll never let you get hurt like this by them again. Without another word, he gently knelt down and took Nico's hand in his, being soft and careful with his touches as he led the boy away. Though his tone remained calm and reassuring, a storm raged within Marco's soul. He harbored no ill will toward Nico, whose only crime was being caught in the crossfire of a world torn apart by conflicting ideologies and insatiable greed. Instead, his anger burned bright against those who had condemned the boy to this fate, who had failed to see the innocence that still lingered within Nico's now haunted eyes. As the shadows deepened around them, Marco continued to hold his hand and lead him to a new home where Nico would be safe, offering Nico solace and companionship amidst the darkness. Together, they would forge a new path, one born not of hatred or fear, but of understanding and acceptance. So, beneath the watchful gaze of the moon, the villain and the boy stood as kindred spirits, bound by a bond that transcended the boundaries of hero and villain, good and evil, light and dark. "What is your name, young one?" "As you know, my name is Marco." Nico's voice trembled and shook as he opened his small mouth in an attempt to form words. I, I'm, Nico. Nico answered silently, his sentences being nothing but stammers and stutters. In the heart of the night, amidst the ruins of a world lost to time, their journey together began.